The hunters were not alone. Before them stood the living legend. He towered over all else, clad in hulking Terminator plate that made him look like some storm giant of Fenrisian myth. Runes glowed on its surface, throbbing like open wounds, and the air around him ran with static. The heavy red mane wolf pelt hung over the curve of his thick psychic hood, pulled by the unnatural wind that eddied around him. His staff, a thick stave of ebony, snarled and shimmered as if alive, crowned by a bleached skull whose eyes flared with pooled etheric matter. His flame-red beard, unfaded to grey despite hundreds of years in service, spilled out across a huge barrel chest. Two frost-blue eyes stared out, perfect in their clarity, fearsome in their intensity. He said nothing. Lines of force lashed and snaked from his staff, swept up by the circling winds and feeding the coronae that enclosed the locked plague marines. The very stuff of the elements seemed drawn to him, and the dust drummed and rippled around his boots. He raised his left gauntlet, encrusted in ice-rimed ceramite, and a black shape flapped down, out of the tortured air. A sleek raven, half the size of a mortal man, its nigh-black plumage laced by the cables and iron bands of the Iron Priest trade, alighted on his wrist, folding semi-metal wings, cawing once, then glaring out at the battlefield. Njal Stormcaller issued no war cry. He lifted his immense staff, and lightning forked out, bounding across the earth before snapping into the traitors, suspended in their auras of psychic fire. Tempest howled around him, whipping up blood and smoke and grime and hurling them into vortices of destruction. The noise of it was incredible, as if the planet's soul were being harrowed before their eyes, and remade anew. One by one, life was strangled out of the suspended traitors. Their limbs twitched, then flailed, then spasmed, as if invisible hands had reached up to their throats to choke them. Their armor cracked, splitting with snaps of silver brilliance, revealing pox-thick flesh within, as pale as bone and puffed up with lesions. Layer by layer, their fallen magnificence was stripped away, scorched and consumed, withering in flames of coruscation. They screamed, but the sound was snatched away by the scream of the wind, where nothing was left of them but husks, as black and fragile as coiled paper. Their carcasses thudded back to the ground. Remnants of their ceramite shells rolled away, held together by inky strands of tar-like residue. All but one. The largest of the plague marines, the monster Gunlauger had felled, still hung intact, immobile, locked by the esoteric forces that played across his armor. He fought against the coils and spiked webs of ether force, but the dazzling lattice clamped him tight, shrinking onto his tortured frame like throttle wire. Njal walked slowly up to his captive, his boots crunching across the bones of the battlefield. As he moved, the raven at his wrist issued a harsh vox call of denunciation. Crackles of lightning continued to dance and flicker around the Rune Priest's colossal frame, as if leaking out from the furnace of power contained within. "You," Njal rasped, gazing up at his prey. His voice was ice-sheer, as raw and jagged as the weird storm that raged around him. "You live. For now." Njal Stormcaller serves as the High Rune Priest of the Space Wolves chapter during the era Indomitus. Known once as Njal Stormson during his time spent as a tribesman of Fenris, this flame-haired youth had proven a capable warrior, wading through the corpses of his slain rivals, the Paleskins. His last battle upon the high seas of Fenris, seeing him leap from oar to oar as he boarded enemy ships to cast their crews into the perilous waters overboard. Only once all his foes had been slain did Stormson succumb to a spear wound buried in his breast. Gaining the notice of the Rune Priest chooser of the Valiant, Heimdall. Though Njal's body would be broken in combat, his bravery and will to fight impossible odds saw to his injuries treatment by the Sky Warriors. Recovering from his mortal wounds with his induction as an aspirant of the Space Wolves, Heimdall mentored this promising scion of the rout as he began the path of a Rune Priest. Developing powers rivaling even the most revered librarians of the chapter, Njal's talent was exemplified during the Battle of Gorswell, wherein his master perished in battle. Slain by a bloodthirster of Khorne, Heimdall's death spurred Njal to unleash a devastating blast of energy which tore apart the greater demon before summoning an ice storm to blanket the armies of the Blood God, crushing many beneath mountains of snow, reaping massive casualties within their ranks. Known henceforth as the Stormcaller, Njal Stormson's raw psychic prowess continued to burgeon. His strategic acumen and tactical expertise speculated to match, if not exceed, even that of his High King, Logan Grimnar. Saving the life of Iron Priest Uld Schwarzbrauer during the Battle of Russ, wherein he was awarded the Cyber Raven Nightwing. Such a familiar proved a valuable companion, as its keen eye scouted enemy positions and relayed troop deployments back to its master. Rising to the rank of High Rune Priest with continual deeds made to the Velka Fenrika, with the dawn of the era Indomitus, Njal received a vision of a son of the Allfather returning to the fold of the Imperium. Envisioning High King Logan Grimnar falling at the hands of the Prophet of Gork and Mork, Gazgulmak Uruk-Fraka, such an event would seemingly hearken the wolf time. Embarking on a vision quest before meeting with envoys of the Avenging Sun, Primaris Lieutenant Arlandus Castellor and Adjutant Colonel Mastroshka, Guilliman's dispatch of several packs of Primaris Space Marines for the route would bolster their resolve despite their suspicion. Dwindled to approximately 700 Space Marines following the devastating siege of Fenris, despite Ulrich the Slayer's advisements to reject such peculiar warriors from the ranks of the Space Wolves, Njal countered that such Astartes were needed to brace for the impending apocalypse, informing Logan Grimnar that the Cicatrix Maledictum's birth now signaled the resurgence of terrible foes such as the Red Angel, Pale King, Phoenician, and even the Urizen. Yet chief among them, Magnus the Red once more schemed for vengeance, his plot to once again bloody the Velka Fenrika, informed by a strange interloper. Njal's rest upon the throne of bones within his personal chambers, allowing his subconscious to wander the oversea in safety. As Njal peered into the Everdusk, also known as the Eye of Terror, Njal saw within its benighted depths the homeworld of the Cyclops, Prospero. Awakening to find a shard of the slain sorcerer, Izakar Or, to have dug deep into his mind, the Thousand Sons spoke of the portal maze of Prospero to which his mind had been trapped. Njal's meddling, latching Izakar's incorporeal soul to his, as it languished for millennia, unable to return to the essence of the warp. Convincing Njal to return the splinter of his soul to the portal maze, with promises that the ancient 13th Great Company still survived within, the old wolf, Bulvi Greybeard, still fought in vain to escape its time-dilating labyrinth. Beseeching his High King for men to venture to Prospero, Logan permitted the creation of a bespoke great company to aid in his quest, assigning his own personal champion, Arjak Rockfist, to fight in his stead. Assembling his so-called Storm Riders, comprised of Sergeant Valgafir, Lucas the Trickster, Grimir Felfist, Olaf Frislane, and even the ancient dreadnought Björn the Fell-Handed, their namesake derived from his uncle's tales that his own slain father had been taken by the Valkyr to fight by the side of the Allfather Eternal. Managing to pass through the tumultuous tides of the warp and reaching the surface of Prospero, after carving their way through hordes of cultists of Magnus, Izakar's soul saw through Njal's eyes the fate of his brethren. Witness to the automaton husks clad in blue and gold. To Or's dismay, even those trapped within the portal maze bearing their heraldry of old had not escaped the rubric of Ahriman, their exit from the portal maze spilling dust as they fell to the guns of the rout. Locating the lost Jarl of Dektra within the depths of the portal maze, the Storm Riders, even when confronted by a Lord of Change and the Crimson King himself, refused to withdraw. Remaining loyal to the Emperor, now convinced of the Thousand Sons' corruption, Izakar Or remained within the portal maze, as Njal and his Storm Riders escaped with the 13th Great Company in tow. Purging Prospero once more with orbital bombardments to slow Magnus's new kingdom from being established, with the resurgence of the planet of the sorcerers, Sortiarius, into the material realm. Freed of his curse, Njal returned to his chapter and continues to fight in the name of the Allfather to this day. His counsel given to the High King and staunch defense of humanity, undiminished to this day.